This week on the Double T Insider, we conclude our In the Zone series by introducing you to a high-flying talent in Tracy Jackson of Red Raider basketball. It was a time of giving during the holiday break. The Lady Raiders gave back to the Lubbock community in a special way. Erica Taylor has that story. And the 2012 Red Raider volleyball season has come to an end. Head coach Don Flora sits down with us in the Coach's Corner to reflect on the season and look towards the future. That and more coming up next on the Double T Insider. Let's go! The Double T Insider is brought to you by the Texas Tech University College of Media and Communication and is entirely produced by students of the college. Welcome into the Double T Insider, everyone. I'm Joshua Cook, joined by Erica Taylor as we bring you another week of inside access into Texas Tech athletics.
And we start off the week sitting down one-on-one with Tracy Jackson as we bring you our final installment of In the Zone.
I'm in the zone, in the zone, in the zone.
Tracy Jackson, sophomore, guard, Jackson, Mississippi.
All right, first off, let's start. What brought you to Tech?
It was just, I liked everything out here. I liked the atmosphere, I liked the school, I liked the business program a lot, so that would bring me here probably the most. And I wanted to turn around the basketball program.
You say you like the business program here. What do you see yourself doing if basketball doesn't work out?
I want to be an entrepreneur, so I'm going to go more into a business, and I deal with stock, so try to start my own business.
All right. One word, describe your game.
Energetic.
Energetic? How so?
Because after I dunk, I'm screaming, I'm getting after you on defense, screaming. I shoot a three, I'm screaming, I'm just bringing energy the whole time.
All right. This video you have on YouTube, you 360, stuff like that. Just tell me about your dunking abilities. I
don't know, I started dunking actually later than everybody else. I started dunking my freshman year in high school, so, because I guess I was short, I was too short to dunk. So ever since then, I love dunking, and I just started adding tricks to it, and it's just, I don't know, I started jumping higher and higher. So, I don't know, I love dunking.
Do you remember your first in-game dunk?
My first in-game dunk was my sophomore year. It was in a varsity game, and I got a fast break. And it was a dude trailing me, and I guess he didn't know I could dunk, and I just took off 1 foot, and he jumped too, and I dunked on him. Came down and started screaming.
All right. Let's talk about your tattoos now. I see you got a whole bunch of them right there on your arm. What do those mean?
Every tattoo have a meaning, but which is probably my favorite is my brother and my mom. And probably the famous F right here is spelled out faith. And without faith, you can't do anything. So those are my best tattoos.
I'm in the zone, in the zone, in the zone, in the zone.
After a quick break, we take a look at how the Lady Raiders were giving back to the Lubbock community during the Thanksgiving holiday. The Double T Insider rolls on after this. Welcome back to the show, everyone. During the Thanksgiving break, the Lady Raider basketball team lent a helping hand here in Lubbock.
That's right. We'll be taking you into the kitchen with the Lady Raiders to see what they're cooking up. Erica Taylor has the story.
It's the season where the spirit of serving is in the air, and at the Salvation Army, a little service goes a long way. This Thanksgiving holiday, the Lady Raider basketball team spent some time there preparing meals for those in need.
It gives us a chance to be together as a family to help other families. And during the holidays, it's always hard on the kids not having, the chance to go home. But a lot of their families come to them, and if they don't, we all gather the ones that, and join in as a big family. So it's a lot of fun. It's a good time of year.
It's always good to give back. Being able to, come here and cook their dinner and just do things like outside of basketball is always fun.
The women's basketball team went to work on Thanksgiving Eve inside the Army's kitchen and had their cooking skills put to the test.
We're enjoying these fine young ladies who have come here from Texas Tech, go Raiders, guns up, and they're coming here to help us prepare food turkey. They're in the kitchen there as well too, as you see preparing. They're wearing the official NCAA headgear, as you see right now in the area, and protected. And it's great for us because we at the Salvation Army, we don't get to enjoy this very often. And so to have anyone to come to us from the community and help us to prepare the meals or the food, much less the fine folks at Texas Tech to come and take part, we appreciate that. But it's good for the community to see that their Red Raiders, the athletes, are involved and participating. And above all, they're helping. And it sounds like they're having fun, which is great.
Me and a couple teammates, Menta and Kelsey and Mary, have been chopping up onions and squishing yams. Yams are very interesting to squish, but it was fun. I mean, that's the first time I've ever dealt with yams, and I know some of them, that's the first time I've ever dealt with onions. So it's also a learning experience for us.
As a Texas Tech faculty member, I really enjoy seeing the basketball team down here. It's nice to see them involved in things that are going on in our community.
However, the Lady Raiders weren't the only ones in blue hairnets. On Thanksgiving Day, volunteers from all around were involved. Some Lubbock natives, some out-of-towners, former Tech track runners, and even former basketball Lady Raider Cheryl Swoops all lended a hand serving the Lubbock community.
Just to have an opportunity to give back to the community is something I take a lot of pride in. And you know, it is Thanksgiving, and lots of times I think we tend to forget about the people that are less fortunate than we are. Just something as simple as serving a plate and feeding them and giving back to them, I think it goes a long way. And sometimes I think those are things that we take for granted. I think lots of times when you're an athlete, people look at you as an athlete and don't really feel like you have the time to volunteer and give back. I remember, not like it was yesterday because it was a while ago, but I remember, you know, being here, being a part of Texas Tech, being a part of the Lady Raider program, and all the things that we did in the community and getting involved in the community. You know, those are things that stuck with me when I was here, and they're definitely things that I continue to carry with me on to this day.
Besides all the volunteers involved, a lot of credit goes to Johnny Lynch, who over the years earned a nice nickname during the month of November.
Well, I've been dubbed as the Thanksgiving Lady. Some years ago I came up and set up the dining room and did some decorating and serving, and the name kind of slipped by, but they could always remember that some lady came at Thanksgiving. So the Thanksgiving Lady has stuck with me.
And for some, giving back wasn't just about service. It's what they received in return that mattered.
Working here has enabled me to give back a little bit of what I received. And hopefully some of these people get the same miracle that I got. And that's why I'm here. I think we all have a need to feel like we belong. Somehow we all get a little busy at times with whatever where our focus is, what our passions are. But to be able to take a break and just be able to give back, it's just an amazing thing.
Reporting for the Double T Insider, I'm Erica Taylor.
Thanks, Erica. The 2012 Red Raider volleyball season ended just a week ago, and Joshua Cook is catching up with head coach Don Flora in this week's Coach's Corner.
Coach, the season has come to an end now for your team. What do you look back on? What do you reflect on? What do you take away from this season?
Well, there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle that we've met with our team individually. We do our individual meetings, and it's always nice to see their faces reflect upon the season. And you look back and you go, we finished in the top 100 RPI. That's a real big measuring stick for the NCAAs and the tournament. And where we were 2 seasons ago to be a plus 200, last year right over 100, now to be a top 100. That's something to be proud of. And I think finishing one of the last couple matches, we had an opportunity to beat a top 20 team, a preseason top 10 team in Kansas State. That's a signature win, something that the RPI people look at and the NCAA committee looks at for NCAAs and for the future. That's a sign that we're headed the right way. And then I think the biggest thing is the chemistry, the care and concern, the love that these women had for each other throughout the season, from the start to the finish. Our chemistry was really tremendous, and that's something to be really proud of for each one of our athletes and for our staff to to know that we put together an environment where we know we're going to fight, kick, and spit, but we're going to care for each other through that.
You mentioned this has been a season of ups and downs, close wins, close losses, but the signature win against Kansas State. How would you characterize this season in one word?
Growth. I think the single word is just growth. Development or growth. When you look at a program, I have so many coaching friends who watch from afar, and the notes and the emails and the text are just tremendous. They know where this program was, and we don't look back often, but we know we have to look back. If you know your history a little bit, you're a little bit more able to change the future, and so the future is super bright. And so that growth, the development, those would be words that I think we can really use about 2012.
What did the seniors, Miera Cave and Tori Vaughn, and also Drayvon Rangel, who didn't play this season, but what did they mean to this program in your short time here?
Their relationships that they built with their teammates and with the staff were invaluable. They grew themselves as people so much in my 2 seasons with them, but I think the biggest thing is to look at what they went through. It's hard to go through a turbulent time and to come out on the upper hand of it, and then the words and the things that they shared with our staff, with our assistant coaches and myself, about how much they developed technically, movements, and just how to play volleyball, the knowledge, the volleyball IQ, and that's a real principle in our program, and they really bought into that and lived that out, and so I just have a ton of respect for how much they gave to us. It's a hard deal when you have a new staff come in, and I have a lot of love for both of them. I think they're tremendous people. They're going to do great things in their lives. They're better people than they are volleyball players, and they're very good volleyball players. So that's an exciting thing to watch that development.
Who from the returning players are you most excited about seeing develop some more in this offseason, and who from the new recruiting class are you most excited to see get in a Red Raider uniform and get out here in the United Spirit Arena?
Well, I mean, there's a lot to be excited about in the returners. I think first and foremost you look at Rachel Brummett and you say, she has 2 more seasons. She's only had 1 year in our program, and what she has done in production, and let alone what she has done emotionally for this program, it's exciting to know that her future isn't brighter than what her past has been. Her past was really good. To set a single season dig record in the history of Texas Tech volleyball in her first season is pretty amazing. And I think the setting position, I think you got Nicole and Reuter coming back, and Reuter's, they're both leaders and great setters, and Reuter's got a lot of experience under her belt now and understands what we expect. And both the freshmen outside and Megan Stacy and Emily Earl bring so many traits and characteristics of quality Big 12 outsides. And I think a healthy Bree David in 2013, she showed that she's can compete at the highest levels. And there's just a lot of little pieces that return as upperclassmen or as sophomores that can really help us in 2013. And I think the other part, the recruiting class, we signed 2 athletes in the early signing period, and we have some room to make some growth in the second signing date in April. But Victoria Heineberg from Germany is a world-class attacker. She can play the middle position, she can play the right side position, she may even be able to pass and play left. And we think she has the ability to be a very outstanding Big 12 attacker. And then Marguerite Grubb out of Houston solidifies our setting position, gives us someone who she's hit, she's blocked, she's a full 6 rotation competitor on the court, let alone she's a really good setter. She's a 4.0 plus type brain. We like the volleyball IQ that she brings in already. She has a really good volleyball smarts about her. And so both of them, plus there's a few walk-ins I can't talk about yet that are in the fray until they sign their admission stuff. So there's a couple other pieces that add to our opposite, add to our middle. We have one of them is a 6'4" middle that will be coming, and so she's a kid out of Austin that's very, very talented, and a lefty opposite out of Dallas area. So both of them add really key components to what we need to solidify this roster.
Final question before I let you go. What do you need to work on this offseason with this team to get ready to come back next season and may have the goal of finishing above 500 overall, win a few more matches in Big 12 play as well? What needs to be done this offseason?
Well, I think first I would preface this by saying, the margin of where we were to getting to the NCAAs is very small. We're 1 or 2 wins away from being an NCAA team right now, probably 2 wins. And so when we talk about that margin being very small, it's also very small in what we need to work on. And, 2011 we were a better blocking team. In 2012 we weren't able to stop people. So we're going to need to be able to work on our eye sequencing and how we understand our blocking schemes. I think that's a learning process for our freshmen on the antennas. And so I think becoming a better blocking team, and then our hitting efficiency, I think we saw it in the latter quarter of the season where our hitting efficiency numbers went up quite a bit. We were pretty good early, and then we had that mid-season lull. So I think having our offensive efficiency at a higher percentage, those will be some things that we'll focus on. As an example, last year we said, hey, we need to focus on our quality of dig and amount of digs. We did that, and then that's going to translate to better middle play. Last year our middle hitting percentages were much lower than, we almost doubled them this year. So that was a focus last spring, and when we go about working at it and do it the right way, we get better at it, and we did. So I think if we can work at our blocking schemes and our hitting efficiency, I think that'll bode well for the fall of 2013.
Thanks so much, Coach, for sitting down with us for a few minutes, and good luck this offseason.
All right, go Red Raiders. Thanks, Josh.
Coming up next, we give you a preview of what's in store for Texas Tech athletics.
With the show winding down, we're going to be giving you a preview of what's coming up this week for Tech athletics.
It's all hoops this week for Texas Tech as the men's and women's basketball team kick off the month of December with Super Saturday. The Lady Raiders will start the day taking on the Lamar Cardinals inside the United Spirit Arena. Both teams will enter the game with a 5-1 overall standing. The Lady Raiders will look to senior guard Casey Morris to keep up the hot shooting from the field. In the last 3 home games, Morris averaged over 17 points per game for Texas Tech. Game time is set for 1 p.m. And later on Saturday, the Red Raiders will host the number 9 Arizona Wildcats. Texas Tech will look for their 5th straight win under the helm of head coach Chris Walker. Junior forward Jay Crockett is coming off a scoring frenzy, putting up double-digit figures in the last 3 games. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. All fans are encouraged to wear white for Super Saturday. The men's basketball team will be back in action on Tuesday to host Northern Kentucky. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. inside the USA. And on Wednesday, Texas Tech women will hit the hardwood against Big Ten opponent Illinois inside the USA. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m.
And that does it for this week's show. Thanks for watching.
And be sure to tune in next week. Also go like our Facebook page and never miss another episode.
For Joshua Cook, I'm Erica Taylor. Have a great week, everyone.